Hello everybody, and welcome back. Last time we explored the Yampi Desert Cave, and after defeating Balukar, we obtained a brand new summon. This time we're going to explore the remaining section of the Islet of Time and see what we can find at the very bottom. But before we get to that, so off screen I actually did some of the RNG methods that I recorded, and I got a bunch of riot gloves. I believe I got like 4. And I also got a bunch of mithril silver, which I turned into a couple of mithril shirts and some mithril helms. And now that Felix has the hyper boots, Valkyrie mail, and the riot gloves and mithril helm, he pretty much has a either 99% or 100% guaranteed unleash or critical. And he's not the only one. I also got some equipment to boost Pierce's unleash rate as well as Isaac's. And that will come into play later, as you're about to see. But for now, let's head inside. So, if you recall the last time that we visited the Islet Cave, we saw some of the teleport seals, but of course, we couldn't do much about it. Well, luckily now we can. And here we are at the latter section of the Islet Cave, though I hesitate to call it a dungeon, as you're about to see. But anyways, here we have 2 new enemies. First off, we have the Chimera Worm. It is level 38, it has 251 HP, 22 synergy, 452 attack, 133 defense, 152 agility and 5 luck. It has a Venus, Jupiter and Mercury resistance of 48 and a Mars resistance of 25, and it has a Venus elemental power of 95 and a Mars elemental power of 90. It normally yields 359 experience points, which then become 466 if we finish it off with a Mars gem. It drops 146 coins, which then become 232, and there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that it will drop the Water of Life. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Angle Spike monster skill and the Briar synergy. Alright, on to the other enemy. We have a Druge. It is also level 38. It has 672 HP, 66 synergy, 549 attack, 197 defense, 205 agility and 33 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 72 and a Mercury resistance of 127. And it has a Mercury elemental power of 100. It normally yields 627 experience points, which then become 815 if we finish it off with a Mars gem. It drops 348 coins, which then become 452, and there is a 1 in 128 chances that then become a 1 in 32 that it will drop the Berserker Band, which is an artifact piece of gear which I'll go into more detail after the battle. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Human Hunt and Demon Eye monster skills and the Mega Cool and Side Drain synergies. So yeah. As for the Chimera Worm, despite being pretty much the final version of one of the first enemies in the game, it is still rather underwhelming, and it is by far the weakest enemy in the Islet Cave. Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, Felix should get pretty much a guaranteed, well, at least a critical. Anyways, let's quickly go over the Berserker Band. It has a defense boost of 46 and its side effect is that it boosts the attack by 15 points. So in a way it's like the riot gloves, only if you took away the ability to boost the unleash rate by 20%. And we have the very same setup. Alright, let's continue on. Well, at least we have another new enemy right there. This is the Cruel Dragon. It is level 38. It has 636 HP, 65 synergy, 539 attack, 216 agility, defense, 162 agility, and 26 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 25, and a Mercury resistance of 175. And it has a Mercury elemental power of 115. It normally yields 661 experience points, which then become 859 if we finish it off with a margin. It drops 358 coins, which then become 465, and there is a 1 in 256 chances, that then become a 1 in 64, that it will drop the Tisiphone Edge weapon, which is arguably one of the best weapons in the game. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Ice Breath monster skill, and the Freeze Prism synergy. So yeah, right here we have pretty much the toughest, or at least two of the toughest enemies in here. Let's take out the Cruel Dragon right here. Alright, so let's quickly go over the Tisiphone Edge, shall we? The Tisiphone Edge has an attack boost of 178, its unleash is called Vengeance, it deals 71 extra Venus damage, and it may double or triple the damage dealt. So yeah, the Tisiphone Edge alongside the Excalibur and Soul Blade are pretty much the stronger weapons in the game. And similar to Excalibur, it also has the potential to deal more damage than the Soul Blade. So, what I was saying earlier about not really counting the Islet of Time as a dungeon, let's say, that is because, and you may have already noticed this, it is pretty much a gigantic hallway. There's no branching paths, there's no real exploration in it. So in that sense, it is by far the most disappointing of the optional dungeons, I would say. Though there is one very specific reason to stay here, and you'll see hopefully soon enough. I hope you like the animation for Megiddo, because you're going to see it quite a lot in this particular episode. Okay, so before we go any further, we have a shaky statue. And I believe if we position ourselves right here? No. Right here. Yeah, there we go. We have a Mercury gem. And I'll get to that in a moment. Actually, I want to switch out party members so that I can have both Excalibur and Soul Blade on these two rather tough enemies. Okay. Let's actually get Sheva out and put maybe Garrett. Okay, here we go. Here we have Serak. It is level 34. It has 920 HP, 86 synergy, 290 attack, 90 defense, 257 agility, and 29 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 25, and I just realized that I'm reading the elemental stats of a Jinn again. Never mind. It normally yields 1093 experience points, which then become 1420 if we finish it off with a Mars Jinn. It drops 706 coins, which then become 917. And as for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Frost Spiral, Ice Missile, Mega Cool, and Freeze Prism synergies. And of course, it also has the Flee command. Alright. So let's actually get Jenna out. I think I can actually survive one Megiddo. Just to be safe, we'll use Petra so it doesn't run away, and let's boost everyone else's attack. It should be able to survive a Megiddo, even a boosted one, hopefully. Please don't kill it. Oh, he's so dead. Yeah. Okay, so I messed up that one, sorry. Mia found the Mercury gene Serac. Alright, first let's change everyone here and... Right, so with that we have obtained all of the Mercury gene in the game. So, Serac. Its battle effect is that it deals a Mercury base attack that is equal in power to the user's physical attack with an added 70 points of damage, and it may kill the target instantly. So a rather useful gene. As for the set stat bonus that it provides, it gives a plus 12 to base HP and plus 3 to base attack. Alright, so let's continue on with the hallway right here. There it is, finally. So, that is the reason that I was talking about before as to why you may want to stay in the Islet Cave. Here we have the final version of the Phoenix family line, the Wonderbird. It is level 38, it has 424 HP, 102 synergy, 510 attack, 190 defense, 285 agility and 34 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 193 and a Mercury resistance of 25. And it has a Mars elemental power of 125. It normally yields 8,622 experience points, which then become 11,208 if we finish it off with a Mercury gene. It drops 333 coins, which then become 432, and there is a 1 in 128 chances that then become a 1 in 32 that it will drop some dark matter. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Regen Dance and Fire Dance monster skills, and the Supernova, Searing Beam, Pyroclasm synergies, and of course the Flee command. Also, the Wonderbird also takes 3 actions every turn, and it is quite fast, so it can be rather annoying to fight, but it is well worth the effort. So let's actually see if we can take it out. If we use Petra or Ground to take its first action, we should be able to take him out with a simple Megiddo. Yeah, it should be there. Alright. So yeah, even if you don't manage to kill it with a gene, it is still an insane amount of EXP. And Sheba level up and learn Destruct Ray, which is nice because that should come in handy when it comes to a few of the RNGs, of which we have 3, which I will be showing near the end of the video. Alright, let's see if we can keep up fighting the taking out the Wonderbirds. Let's get Petra back and let's attack normally. Alright, let's heal up quickly and let's continue. Alright, so we are almost there. Ooh. Let's see, what can we do here? I feel that if I actually try and get both of them, I may end up getting none of them, so we'll try to get one for sure, and if we're lucky the other one will not run away. And he tried to, but he did not manage to run away, so we were kinda lucky there. Ooh. Can we get 3 of them? Yep. Yeah, we can. let's just ground, and everyone else can just defend really. Unless I'm unlucky enough and Felix only gets a critical attack. Alright, thank god. Right, so how much EXP is that? 25,000. Felix level up, Isaac also, and Garrett. Anyone else? Jenna? Nice. So yeah, the Wonderbirds are insane, and this is by far the best place to grind. Wow, the encounter rate here is insane. Let's see actually. I think Megiddo enough might take out the Drush, but just to be safe. Alright. And the Chimera Worm is a weakling, so yeah, he's absolutely dead. Huh, we got some water life. Look at that. Okay, here we are. Before you step any further, be prepared, and you may want to save your game. Also, I'm going to change the party setup a little bit. I actually want Mia and Pierce. Yeah, that should do. Let's actually heal up a bit before we go any further. Alright, here we go. I am the Guardian of Wind. You would claim my power. You must prove your worth. Alright, here we have the second optional boss, Sentinel. It is level 48. It has 8736 HP, of which it recovers 200 at the end of every turn. It has 780 synergy, of which it recovers 30 at the end of every turn. It has 608 attack, 216 defense, 171 agility, and 54 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 72, a Mars resistance of 127, a Jupiter resistance of 152, and a Mercury resistance of 193. And it has a Mars elemental power of 120 and a Jupiter elemental power of 110. It normally yields 10,538 experience points, which then become 13,699 if we finish him off with a Venus gene. It drops 6,144 coins, which then becomes 7,987, and it doesn't drop any items whatsoever. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Armor Crash monster skill, which is a Venus attack with a 1.4 multiplier, and it may lower the target's defense by 25%. And then it has the Blue Bolt, Destruct Ray, Searing Beam, Spark, Plasma, Guard, and Break synergies. And also, most importantly, his main gimmick is that he is downright immune to any kind of synergy, be that offensive or support synergy. So you cannot use, let's say, Impair or any synergy that may weaken him, as I am going to show right now. Yeah, Sentinel dissipated your synergy. Yeah, no matter how strong, he is downright immune to all synergy. And also, I didn't stop to mention it, but he does have guard, and we're rather lucky that he doesn't have impact. Because usually whenever an enemy buffs itself, you can just use break to bring it down. But he's immune to break, so any status boosts remain permanent. Or at least for quite a handful of turns. And he also takes 3 actions every turn, which can make him rather tough. So yeah, this is a particular reason as to why I wanted to obtain as many unleash boosting equipment as possible, and that is why Felix, Isaac and Pierce are out in front, because they pretty much have the best weapons available. Also, you can also try and get the TC Phone Edge with the RNG that I will show at the end, but right now we're going to fight him as we are. Alright, so... However, while he is immune to synergy, he doesn't negate all synergy, meaning that we can use healing synergy. And in that sense, that is why I don't really like his gimmick that much, because I do feel that it is rather incomplete. If he completely negated any synergy, meaning that you cannot use Wish or Cool Aura to heal, and maybe he forced you to use to rely only on items, or maybe any of the artifact weapons that have a special effect, then maybe he would have been a little bit more interesting. Because as he is, all you have to do is just wail on him with your best weapons and then heal up. Though of course, he is no pushover, as you can see right away. Especially if he uses Spark Plasma in succession. And he does recover a somewhat annoying amount of HP every turn. Alright, so I completely lost count of how much damage I dealt him. Let's say it's about 2000. It's probably maybe less, but just to be safe. And now he has completely buffed his defense, so he's barely gonna take much damage from even Megiddo, but whatever. Ah, 452. And Megiddo deals pretty much the same. So all in all about 1000 damage. With the absolute best outcome possible for the unleashes. That is to say, triple damage Excalibur and double damage Masamune. Ish. Nia is rather slow. Just to be safe, let's actually heal her with Isaac and have everyone else attack. There we go. Again, 445. $500. Also, if you find that you're having some trouble with this particular fight, you can of course go back and grind on the Wonderbirds. And if you take Mia a couple of levels higher, she will actually learn the final form of the Wish synergy, which is downright insane how much it heals. Because yeah, Wish Well is coming up a bit short on this battle. Maybe just to be safe, I'll use Shade. So yeah, even with this particular setup that I at first thought might be a bit overkill, having all of the Unleash boosting items, it's still taking quite some time. He is not by a handful the strongest of the optional bosses, but he's far stronger than Valukar, I would say. Also, I forgot to mention, he's not immune to summons. Summons do count as... they don't count as synergy. And of course he's not immune to Jin, otherwise it would be impossible to get the boosted EXP and coins from him. Don't kill me. Oh wait. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'll be honest, I completely lost track of how much damage. We'll do this a couple of more turns and then we'll start using all of the Venus Ring that we have available. Okay. Let's use that and Shade. Alright, one more round and then I guess we'll start with the Jin. Him recovering to 200 at the end of every turn is very, very annoying. Please don't die from that. Alright. So let's start. Let's use Geode and Bane, why not? Mia can continue to heal and let's actually limit Sentinel a bit. Yeah, look at that, we barely did any damage. And he's going to recover about half of that near the end of the turn. And if nobody attacks him on this turn, then the Jin were pretty much useless. Yeah, so he barely took any damage. He actually recovered a bit from last time. Alright, let's get Ryan back. That's actually far better. Well, look at that. And Felix leveled up. And so did Mia. And Pierce. And Ivan. Anyone else? No. Alright, before we go any further, Felix can now summon Catastrophe. To summon Catastrophe, 5 Jupiter and 3 Mars standby gene are needed. Alright, so we got a new summon. Let's quickly go over it, shall we? Catastrophe, the embodiment of destruction. It requires 5 Jupiter and 3 Mars gene. It has a base power of 400 Jupiter. It has an HP multiplier of 24%. After it is summoned, it provides a power boost of 60 Mars and up to 100 Jupiter, and it has a side effect that may occasionally lower the enemy's synergy values by 10%. Okay, so on the topic of Catastrophe, it is possibly one of my favorite summons, at least when it comes to the visual flair, and it is rather strong, but the side effect is pretty much useless, because any basic enemy that may be affected by it is probably about to die on the next turn, if it hasn't already. And as for any of the remaining bosses, even if you manage to remove some of their synergy from them, it will never be enough to drain them completely, so it is a rather useless side effect. I kinda wish there was something different, something more related to Jupiter, maybe like stun the enemy or lower its defense, or maybe put it to sleep, even if it doesn't really make much sense. But yeah, so a couple of things. This is pretty much everything for now. I will be doing a little bit of off-screen grinding, since we are at the best place to do it. I'm not going to take everyone up to level 54 just yet, but they will be significantly stronger for the next episode. So yeah, all that's really left is to go over the RNGs. So with that, we'll be done. Alright, here we go. So we have 3 RNGs to go. I know the last time that we had a couple of RNGs to do, I actually left the one for the weapon last. This time I'm actually going to do it the other way around, because out of the 3 items that you can get in the Islet Cave, the Tisiphone Edge doesn't actually require that high of a level. The one that actually requires the highest level of all is the Dark Matter, which is why I will be using a party that is slightly stronger than the one that is shown on screen. But the one right here should work for getting the Tisiphone Edge, as well as the Berserker Band. So let's get to it, shall we? Alright, of course we're going to go first. So we want to use Clay Spire on the Cruel Dragon, Aura with Jenna as always, Destruct Ray for Sheva, and then Glacier for Pierce. Alright, and now we'll have Felix attack the Druge. I'll use Shine with Jenna, and then Destruct Ray once again with Sheva, and Pierce can just defend. Alright, so Shine should be able to take out the Cruel Dragon. There we go. And the Soul Blade will absolutely destroy the Druge. Alright, So, if we did everything correctly, we should be getting the Tisiphone. There we go. Alright, so that is one RNG down, and we got arguably one of the best weapons in the game. Alright, so up next is the Berserker Band RNG. Alright, there we have the Gruul Dragon and Druge. And similar to the Tisiphone Edge, we're going to use Clay Spire with Felix, Aura with Jenna, Distract Ray with Sheva, and then Glacier with Pierce. In fact, this particular RNG is pretty much identical to the one that we use for the Tisiphone Edge. Alright, then we'll have Felix attack the Gruul Dragon. Let's use Shine on the Druge and Distract Ray, and then Pierce can just defend. Shine should be able to take out the Druge. There we go. And the Soul Blade will absolutely kill the Gruul Dragon. Alright, so if we did everything correctly, we should be getting the Berserker Band. There we go. Alright, that's another RNG down. Up next, we have the RNG for the Dark Matter. Alright, the only RNG left is the one for the Dark Matter. And for this one, we actually do need the party to be at a bit of a higher level. More specifically, we need Jenna to be at level 41. And that is because she unlocks the Searing Beam synergy. And that is actually necessary for this particular RNG. And also this RNG is actually rather different than the ones we have been doing so far, but you'll see that in a moment. Alright, so the enemy is the Wonder Bird, which not only gets 3 actions every turn, but is rather fast. So Felix will use Mud on both of them, Jenna will use Searing Beam, always focusing on the Wonder Bird, Sheva will use Storm Ray, and then for Pierce it is Glacier. Alright, so for this second turn we'll have Felix defend as well as Jenna. Sheva will cast High Impact, and then we'll have Pierce use any Mercury Gin that can take out the Wonder Bird. In this case I'll use Chill. And that should kill the Wonder Bird. So yeah, the Gruul Dragon does get to actually do an attack. But yeah, now that we are done with the Wonder Bird, all that's left is to just use regular attacks on the Gruul Dragon. And once you kill it, we should be getting, assuming we did everything correctly, some Dark Matter. There we go. Alright, that is the last RNG for the Islet Gate. So, we explored the Islet Gate dungeon, I guess, more of a hallway, but whatever. We defeated Sentinel and we got a new summon. Next time we're going to head for the Treasure Isle and finally explore it fully. See you guys!